I get it. You've seen the title and you're like, Theo, I know exactly what this is about. It's that blue car you own, the R34 Skyline GT. I don't know. Actually, no. As I said, redefining what my dream car is, or has adjusted kind of my scope, which I never expected to happen. You see, I was kind of inspired by James May's recent video. This kind of screamed classical car YouTube to me, and I thought it would be a good way to get across the good and the bad, the like and the not like of my also kind of daily car that redefined what I like in a car. So shout out to James May for keeping it fresh on YouTube, which is kind of a bizarre thing to be saying. Gonna be completely honest with you, never did I expect to say a pregnant Porsche would redefine what I look for in a car, but here we are. And I'm about to hit a significant milestone on this car, which I'll tell you a little bit later. And so that's kind of the reason for today's video. It thought it would be a really good all-in-one video to basically tell you what I like, tell you what I don't like, and why. I was about to reveal a secret. You need to stick around for that. We are gonna start, maybe a little bit too easy actually, but I will pop the hood and we're gonna talk about what's in it. In this beautiful long boy, we have got a twin turbo V8 that is powered on all four wheels. 4-wheel drive, twin turbo, V8. I don't know if it gets much better than this, to be completely honest with you. I mean, sure, you know, V10, V12, but like, modern day? I say modern day, but it's almost a decade old at this point, which is kind of bizarre to think about. Speaking of it being a little lived in, a little, you know, decade old, basically, this screen was not really as it is now. As you can see, full screen, beautiful, stunning. This looks like a modern car. I mean, I've got the whole swipe to the side. I can do all my apps. I can go on a Plex amp. I can check out the news if I wish to. You see, I jump between devices quite regularly because I can't make a decision. And so one of the things it had was Apple CarPlay, and it didn't have Android Auto. But thankfully, there's ways around it. On the internet, I found a man that gave me a piece of software that I'd install into the car, and hey presto, all of a sudden, my car now has full screen Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is just awesome. So when you live with a car for a long time, these type of things, they pop up and it makes so that it's just a better experience because, well, now I don't need a new one because on the new ones, it does come with Android Auto CarPlay. There was a conversion box as well that I could use early days, but it would only give me like half the screen. I've probably got a picture that I can show you. This is a better solution. Find a man that can install some dodgy software on your car. One of the things that people regularly tell me when they meet me in person for the first time is they say, oh my God, you're so much bigger than I thought you were. I'm like, hey, appreciate it. I'm normally sat in a chair. So, speaking of sitting in chairs, the adjustability of this car, can I just say, is incredible. I am, again, 6'3", and my adjustment here is impeccable. I can stand my hand like this above my head, which is just insane. And of course, when I turn it on, it moves a little bit and I close the door. Adjustability is kind of crazy. It's the fact that I fit so well, better than I fit in any car, taller, bigger, smaller, whatever. I think this and maybe a Focus. A Focus is actually quite roomy. And going a step further, I can fit behind my own seat, which tells me that basically anyone can fit, which is incredible news because I don't have to like bunch my seat forward and hope that people can fit. No, if I fit, other people can fit. It's brilliant. Another one, you can probably just about see my fuel gauge there. It's less than half. 239 miles there. I have seen, it is a range, I have seen 500 miles usually when I fill this thing to the brim. Not that I've actually, you know, counted, but it does regularly say 500. And if I drove sensibly, I think I could probably get that. But I have seen the big number. And then there's obviously the fact that it is the do everything car. There's a wasp. He's not alive. And then there's the fact that it's a do everything car. This is kind of the reason I got this over anything else, is it's got a bag here with some stuff in it. It's got the fact that I could move house in it, and it's got, press the right button. This, when it finally arrived, this tow ball. This is exactly what I was looking for when it came to the next car. You may remember I had a truck, and then I didn't have a truck. And then I had this. And that's kind of what this car was mostly made for. It was the do-everything car, and everything it does do very nicely. Which then kind of bleeds into the other positive. The reason it does everything and that makes me happy is that it's not an SUV. And I can prove to the world, to the masses, that this is the best car in the world. Or at least, as it goes, is like a do-everything car. I don't think there's a better do-everything car. There isn't many. I then kind of want to show you the stupidness that this car is. For some reason, it has air suspension that I can lower because, raise, why the hell not? Of course, you got your usual cooled and heated seats and all the rest of it, very nice. But you've also got massage seats because why the hell not? And if that's not enough, it's not just the front of the car. The back seats as well also have full massage system. Again, it's supposed, technically, on some of the Porsche listings, they list these as limousines. Oh, and that's ignoring the screen that's right in front of me. Because why not? And one of the cool little extras, it has soft closed doors. If you forget to close the door, the car basically does it for you anyway, which people then don't know that's a thing, and so as it's soft closing, they open it and close it again to close the... It's a bit stupid. But like, it's cool if you know, but I have all of this car, V8, twin turbo, all-wheel drive, enough seats for everyone. Can tow my Skyline, for example. Can tow basically all my heaps that I've got at the unit. It can do everything, and it was under 100K. Way under. Buying used is a really good idea, especially if you're looking at something like this. Again, I think I paid like 65, something like that. It's a lot of money, but now this is worth a hell of a lot less. And you can also get the V6 version, which I initially did, which also did everything. I just like a V8 and they had the opportunity to buy the V8, so I got the V8. This generation of Panamera, stunning. Absolutely love it, which leads me on to my final point. The reason I'm kind of making this video is to sort of celebrate, a little celebration. Let's go. This is now mine. That's right, the finance company no longer owns it. I do. Or at least the month you're watching this, that's gonna be the case. I bought this used, and I'm gonna keep hold of it, and there's no better car. And that's kind of nice, because I'm always one to be like, oh, what about? I want maybe a smaller car, I want maybe a faster car. You're always gonna feel that. But if you get a car at like this age, after you've done a little bit of messing around, you're gonna be like, damn, is there a better car that does more than this? And there's nothing. I think about it and there's nothing. I just looked back at my first picture. In fact, actually, I'm gonna show you this. This was the other one that I was trading in as I was getting this one. Have been with this car for 3 years and 5 months. And I still get giddy about the car. That's never happened before. It's so wild, because you think you're like, oh, I want like a supercar, I want like this. No, this makes me really happy. Okay, we do now need to move on to the other side, because there are negatives about owning this car, and I think it's only fair to do so. And as I say that, it is starting to rain. So I'm gonna be very quick. Trust me, I promise it wasn't cold when I did that, but basically very quiet. It didn't come with the sports exhaust. The other one that I had came with a sports exhaust. This one didn't. And to retrofit it, I don't know if you can do that. So I'm gonna have to find a way to make it louder, because it's got 2 turbos. They work as silencers. It's really quiet. It is properly starting to rain now. Is that Lexus didn't make anything similar. That bothers me. I'm a Lexus guy. I wish Lexus would make a V8 version of kind of this. They're making an EV version. Not interested. Give me a V8, but oh my God. Welcome to springtime in the UK. The other one is that it is very honestly a very massive car. It is so long. It is ridiculously wide. I'm actually a little bit terrified of taking it some places, but I mean, I survived the countryside and we have incredibly tiny roads just everywhere, so I survived that. The Taycan Turbo Turismo thingy, that's really a little bit smaller, and I have driven one of those, and it does make me a little bit jealous. I wish they made a smaller version of this, which there is a rumor that they are supposedly blending the Panamera and the Taycan into one car, so there's a chance that that could happen. You can tell I'm having to get a bit pickier now. I don't have those adaptive lights. So you know on some of the Audi group cars where they have the lights that can kind of point and then they move out of the way. So you can keep your high beams on basically and it avoids the car. Well, that is an option on this car. I just don't have it. They have soft closing doors, but not the cool dancey lights. I know it's an option on this car because I had it on the silver one, but I'm gonna be honest, I still turned them off when I had that because I was still a little bit worried that I would just blind someone by accident, because they do still kind of like every now and again. Another thing to think about is that my extended warranty, at least the warranty that I can get, you can only get 10 years of it, and it's almost 10 years old. So that means I'm gonna have no warranty soon on a Porsche twin turbo V8 car. A little bit terrifying, but the only thing I've had to replace thus far on the car is actually the front camera, which I didn't have to replace, Porsche did it, and thankfully it happened before my warranty expired. Again, front camera, you don't need it. I liked having the front camera. It was kind of nice to be able to have for parking and yeah, I guess that's all you would use it for. But it gives you a cool surround sound setup, and I really want it. Anyway, to do that in my own money, it would have cost me $3 grand. I think I would probably not have fixed it. Or at least, maybe I'm just trying to see if I can solve it rather than replace the whole... I would have done it. This is one of those, I kind of chose my own fate issues. In the rear of this car, there are only 2 seats because they have the heated and they have the massage and all those kind of things. You can get the 3 seats. I could probably force the 3 seats in there, but I would lose out on a lot of functionality. But at the same rate, there's only like 2 occasions I thought, yeah, I need the extra seat. A little bit annoying. But, you know, I just had to make sure that I don't have 3 kids. So I can keep the car. Being real, one of the other issues I have with the car, I like the look of it. I think it grew on me quite significantly, maybe because like what it represents more so than how it looks. It's a little bit more quiet and calm. Not kind of how I usually like my cars. I like loud, aggressive. Basically what I'm saying is I think the RS6 looks nicer, but this is the better car in pretty much every way beyond the looks. But again, it doesn't look like a bad car. I do think about that RS6. The RS6 is very nice. But before someone goes, oh, but why? This one actually tows like 100 kg more. It's not a huge amount, but it makes a lot of difference. It's not the only reason, but like, it's why I didn't get the RS6. The weight is probably another one. I have measured it myself, I think with like half a tank is when I did. We're talking just under 2 tons. When I'm in it, we're breaking 2 tons. Cars in general are stupidly heavy these days, and I get it's all-wheel drive, it's got twin turbo V8, it's long, it's a big car. But I remember back in the day, people would say my Lexuses that I had, the coupes and the LC and stuff. The LC weighed more than this, which is crazy, but the RC was like 1700 and people were calling that heavy. So she's big, but like, I love her still. Who cares? Me, I care. I wish it was a little bit lighter and smaller. Basically, what I want is a Taycan with a V8 in it, but Porsche won't do that. So, Panamera, baby. I love it. Just to clarify again, I am quite tall, but this is also quite a tall car. I would say it is too tall for my liking. I don't like this new era of really tall 4-door like estates, 4-door sedan saloons, whatever you want to call them. They're really tall because the batteries are underneath normally on the variants that also have batteries. This doesn't. It's just tall because people thought, oh, I've got to be honest, I was scarred by one of the dealers at one point that I took this to. They genuinely said to me, oh, the Panamera is a good car in it. Because basically, it's kind of like a small car, but also like a little bit of an SUV. I am not going to buy a Porsche ever again. I'm also going to walk into my car backwards. You Porsche, you just lost a customer. No, I'm kidding. That dealer did. And that actually, a nice speed run there, brings me to my final hate about this car. Gotta have the big reaction, otherwise it's like, yeah, I kind of dislike that. No, this one really does kind of bother me. So I don't know if you know this, but for the last 6 months I've been in a different location. I used to kind of be in the countryside with the trees and the leaves and everything's happy, yay. I don't do that anymore, and therefore I don't use this enough. That's a genuine thing I'm running into. I have at my fingertips in London possibly the greatest public transit that exists. And not only that, anything I need to get to, I can cycle to. I have multiple choices in the Meta. I could cycle it, I could train it, I could bus it. Most of the time I can bloody walk it. It's an incredible city that just doesn't need this. And that's why I'm always like clashing on the idea, do I get rid of it? Do I get something more practical? Do I get something that's not an all-rounder? Because I don't need an all-rounder anymore as much. But I'm gonna be honest, everything I look at just doesn't do it for me in the way that this does. And so that's why I'm paying it off. I'm keeping hold of it. And this car is gonna stick with me probably longer than any car ever, unless we have some, you know, catastrophic failures. So at this point, I'm very happy to say that I, as I said, now own it, and I can do basically anything I want to it because the finance company doesn't own it. And I may have been sitting on a couple of ideas because, again, kind of plan to keep hold of it. Oh yeah, I can't get away from this. This did come off just before I started filming. It was glued on, so basically it needs more glue. There's quite a lot of glue in these cars. We'll deal with that at some point. Soft closed doors. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of a different type of video. And yeah, if you want to see more of these, well, there's 2 channels you can check me out on both of them. They're gonna have some crossover. That's why they're, you know, they're both linked in this situation. But usually, car stuff in the BlackPanthaa channel. That's what I'm talking about. I just wish it was a bit more of a fun color.